The story opens with our protagonist, Taesik, who has recently been freed from prison after serving a 10-year sentence for murder. He carries a notebook in which he compiles a list of things he would never do again to redeem himself and regain social acceptance. He arrived at his mother's home, who had adopted him, and met his younger sister, Hee-ju, who was first dismissive of him. Because of his infamous reputation and tattooed physique, he finds it difficult to gain anyone's trust. Inside the club oracle, we see Changmu, one of the gang leaders, reprimanding his gang members for failing to complete their tasks. When Changmu notices Taesik, he comes to a halt. Taesik was a member of their group and is friends with Changmu and Yang-ki, who now perceive Taesik as a changed man. They keep an eye on him because they are skeptical. Taesik returns home that night and is greeted warmly by his mother, who misses him so much that she treats him like a child. His younger sister Hee-ju, on the other hand, is still giving him a hard time because she has never met Taesik her entire life, but she let it slip because her mother insisted on having him live with them. Taesik reminds himself every day to become a better person, to not drink or fight again. The following morning, Taesik realized that his path to becoming a better man had not been easy. He runs across Min-seok, a police officer he used to tease in high school. Taesik is advised by Min-seok to leave the area since no one wants him there. Taesik makes good on his word, and he visited a clinic to get his tattoos erased. He realizes that doing so will be extremely expensive and opts to work at a garage for now. Meanwhile, we meet Cho Pan-soo, a politician who has vowed to renovate their neighborhood by beginning to build a massive mall in the sunflower field. Taesik's mother is enraged by this and comes to see Cho Pan-soo, demanding that he stop sending thugs to her business, since she will never give it up. Taesik runs into Hee-ju at her favorite spot at home since he wanted to go for a cigarette. He did, however, resolve to stop smoking as part of his remorse to become a better guy. Taesik used to be the gang's leader, along with Yang-ki and Changmu. People were afraid of him since he becomes immortal when he consumes alcohol, which is why he never drinks anymore. But because politicians are more powerful due to money, Yang-ki and Changmu sided with Cho Pan-soo after Taesik was imprisoned, and they fought Bunjin, who felt he could handle the town himself. So now that Taesik has returned, many are shocked that he has found work at a garage. The garage owner stated that he handed it to Taesik because he was afraid Taesik would hold it against him. Taesik has transformed and is now a hardworking man, in his opinion. The following day, Taesik visits Hee-ju's school with the goal of enrolling in college. Hee-ju is astonished to learn that her math instructor is acquainted with her brother Taesik. Taesik follows Hee-ju after a brief conversation and notices her staring at a portable multimedia player. When Hee-ju discovered that Taesik is brilliant in integral calculus, their relationship grew even stronger. While they were eating street food, a guy who had been stalking Hee-ju for 2 years began beating Taesik, believing that Taesik is Hee-ju's lover. The guy and his gang beat him up until his clothing came off and his tattoos were exposed. They'd all backed away from him. After that, Hee-ju showed Taesik her soft side by giving him some treatment for his wound. When Cho Pan-soo offers a managerial post to the club oracle, tensions between Yang-ki and Changmu rise in the town hall. However, Cho Pan-soo wants Yang-ki to acquire the Sunflower restaurant, which is amid the mall he plans to develop. Yang-ki was scared to touch the restaurant since he knew Taesik lived with the Sunflower woman, but Changmu takes the responsibility with pride. The next morning, Changmu and his gang members rush to the Sunflower restaurant to demolish it, but when he sees Taesik, he instantly backs down. He had no idea it was his mother's house, and Yang-ki was aware of it. They both intended to take over Club Oracle, but they need to find out how to get rid of Taesik without aggravating him. Taesik tutors Hee-ju with integral calculus on her favorite rooftop spot. Following this, they clearly began to act more like brothers and sisters. Taesik also expresses how important his mother is to him by gifting him a pair of shoes. He presents Hee-ju a portable multimedia player, but she first refuses to take it since she does not believe Taesik has genuine motives in giving them gifts. Later, when she realizes Taesik has quit smoking, she offers him a cup of coffee in exchange for the present. The following day, Hee-ju and Taesik spent additional time working on her mathematics assignment together. As cheeky as she is, Taesik's notebook that his mother gave to him when he was incarcerated is seen by Hee-ju. Hee-ju chuckles at how easy everything on the list is, but he decides to fulfill one of his wishes, going on a picnic. Hee-ju, Taesik, and his mother went to the river for a picnic. Taesik's mother is astonished when she finds that her son is assisting Hee-ju in integral calculus. They enjoyed a lovely day together and even shot a nice family photo, demonstrating how deep their bond is. That evening, Pungjin, who had become nothing more than a driver for Cho Pan-soo, came by to visit Taesik to notify him of Cho Pan-soo's plans to demolish his mother's sunflower restaurant to build a large mall on it. He advises his family to leave town or face serious consequences. Meanwhile, Chang and Yang Ki became concerned that Cho Pan-soo could have offered Byungjin the club oracle, so they decided to reunite. Chang Yu and his crew destroy the sunflower restaurant the next morning, forcing Taesik's mother out of the way. When Hee-ju notices this, she rushes forward and tosses her multimedia player at Chang Yu's head. She is also flung to the ground, so she flees to find Taesik. Cops nearby are known to be bystanders who never get involved in these scuffles. Taesik quietly demands that Cho Pan-soo not force him to fight again as part of a vow he made to himself. Cho Pan-soo wants Taesik to join his gang, but he declines since he is already a changed man. Yang Ki instructs his gang members to provoke Taesik at work so that the authorities may arrest him. Surprisingly, he takes all the blows without touching any of the gang members. When his owner tries to stop them from beating him up, he is also punched. Taesik wraps his arms around him to protect him from the punches and kicks they were hurling at them. When there are too many witnesses to the disturbance, the beating stops. That night, Hee-ju learns that Taesik murdered her biological brother, Choi Do-pol. Hee-ju couldn't believe her mother would adopt the murderer of her own son. Her mother, on the other hand, claimed that when she visited Taesik in prison, she observed how many tears poured from his eyes, suggesting that he committed a tremendous mistake and truly regretted it. Taesik has no ill will towards the family and only wanted to protect them at all costs. He wanted to go, but Hee-ju forced him to stay and even informed him that she will be calling him brother from now on. Even though Choi Do-pol was the genuine son, she was relieved that he could no longer harm his mother because he was often beating her for money. She notices how pleased her mother is because Taesik is there for them. The next day, Taesik's mother goes to Cho Pan-soo to blackmail him into stopping his pursuit of destroying her sunflower restaurant and leaving them alone. She kept Do-pol's diary, which detailed how he maneuvered Do-pol to obtain the sunflower fields. That night, Byungjin contacts Taesik to warn him that his mother is in danger since she threatened Cho Pan-soo. When he returned home, he found his mother drinking and telling him that she had already solved the situation. Cho Pan-soo took matters into his own hands because of what Taesik's mother did. He began with Hee-ju, hiring someone to throw a brick at her head as she crosses the street. Taesik's mother, feeling sorry about what had transpired, agreed to Cho Pan-soo's demands to just sell the restaurant. Taesik would now go to any length to safeguard his family. He assures Cho Pan-soo that they would be leaving town soon. Even though this is what Cho Pan-soo truly desired, he looks to be dissatisfied and informs him that when you do a sin, it never goes unpunished. He tells him to surrender one of his arms so that he can no longer fight. Because Byungjin did not totally sever Taesik's arms, he may still utilize it. Taesik's mother was talking to her real son Choi Do-pol, who had died and whom she adored even though he was cruel to her. It was apparent that it was difficult for her to say goodbye to her business because of the memories they had left there. Yang Ki creeps in and murders her as her tears flow. He also destroys Choi Do-pol's diary, which included evidence that Cho Pan-soo was responsible for his death. They made it appear to be suicide, but Taesik notices a piece of jewelry that Yang Ki owns. He goes to see Hee-ju in the hospital that night. He couldn't tell her the truth when she inquired where their mother was. On his way home, he notices their family portrait, which they took after their picnic. Taesik began to cry profusely, and despite his commitment not to drink alcohol, he did so that night. All Cho Pan-soo's gang members meet at his town hall to celebrate their triumph. With Cho Pan-soo finally being able to build his mall and Yang Ki and Chang Yu finally being able to take over the club oracle. Just when it seems like things are going well, Taesik enters the hall wailing, wondering why they had to take them all for him. He spent 10 years attempting to change himself and become a better man. He was aware that Yang Ki had murdered his mother and that the person who had assaulted his sister was the stalker. He told Byungjin to leave the room since he was the only one who had informed him about Cho Pan-soo's ill intentions. Before he unleashed his anger on them, he reminded them of what Cho Pan-soo had previously informed him. A sin will never go unpunished. Because of his wounded arms, they underestimate Taesik, but he easily defeated the boastful stalker guy. He starts a fire in the town hall, and begins to attack everyone who is in his way. He tries to approach Cho Pansu, but is met with 20 of his men, including Yang Ki and Changmu. He throws and takes blows, but he does not appear to be harmed by them. He murders Changmu and is stabbed by Yang Kai, but he strangles him in the same way he murdered his mother. All the other gang members backed away until they reach Cho Pansu. He smacks him hard and does not let up. He stays in the hall as everything burns and apologizes to his family for everything. The following scene shows Hee-ju entirely cured and excelling at math, passing her thesis exams. Though her mother and Taesik are no longer alive, she recalls them through their family portrait and all the beautiful moments they had. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, give a like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.